Do not trust Emily. French people don't really wear a beret on an everyday basis. I smashed an ant. Bonjour! Yes, I am French. Oui, oui, baguette, haha, croissant. Well, I'm literally holding a croissant mic here. And as a crafting channel here, I thought it would be fun and interesting to explore a new fiber art technique to make a beret. Un beret. This is going to be an easy weekend project that you can try. No sewing, no complicated tools, just a lot of soap. You'll see. But so many possibilities to express your creativity, and also I want to add something to my homemade wardrobe. Alors, allons-y. Let's get to work. So today we are learning about a technique called wet felting. That sounds dirty, but it's not. It actually involves a lot of soap. I did try that technique a few years back. I had a few things that I've made. Please be witness that I made a lot of progress in my costume closet cleanup. I'm getting back some of my beauties. Oh, look at this one. Look at this embroidery. So, mask. This is my cat mask. This was a combination of wet felting, needle felting, and sewing faux fur on. This was a whole character. It was not as weird as it looks. I mean, So, I also made this little cute beret last year. I quite like it, but I didn't wear it that much. And also, of course, I have my original French beret, wool felted. So I want to try the technique to make it look like this. There is a seam on the side of my beret that I sewed, and with felting, it's just one piece. Hop! Shall I do the whole video with the worst French accent? I could inflict that on you, but I am not going to. Be thankful. Allez, on y va. What I do have in my stash is some wool felting fibers. So this is all I have. There's no white because I used it already on this monstrosity. Also like the mushroom crepe, if you remember. This is still adorable. Oh! Bonsoir. Tu veux rentrer? Non? Okay. Inspiration. So the way wood felting works is by using soap, water, and friction. So before I turn my whole workshop into a river, we need to protect the table. I'm just gonna add a few things underneath the layer, so it kind of raises the edges a little bit and makes kind of a bathtub, but might prevent some splashing. Also, there is a lot of shrinkage happening when you use wool felting, so I'm gonna try to make a little sample just to test the shrinkage, because if I make the full thing now, it will end up being a teeny tiny thing that I can put on the cat. No, he already has a beret. I'm not even joking. Let's make a test piece with the color that I like the least. These are kind of neutral, so they can be useful for many projects. These would be great to make some moss or something like that. These may be for autumn. I think I want to make my project in these colors. So let's do some testing in blue. Very important tool of this project, bubble wrap. I think I'm gonna make a square to see how much shrinkage there is. Do I know what I'm doing? No, but I watched 4 YouTube videos, so basically an expert. And now a second layer, like this, you know? I'm using a different color to see what the result would be. Since we are testing things, I want to try to use those fibers just to see if it adds a little bit of sparkle. I'm also going to test adding a piece of bubble wrap between layers of wool, because this is kind of how you're supposed to make a beret or a vase or a slipper, anything that is kind of hollow. then we can try to add some scrap yarn to see what it does. And also maybe some bits of thread. I told you, I don't know what I'm doing. I've also seen people adding some random things like beads in between the fibers to make like bubbles. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I'll try. I feel like a squirrel hiding his nuts. Et voilà, my master test piece is ready. Let's measure exactly, because that was like kind of the original point. 42 par 42. Let the rain begin. So let's spray everything with some soapy water. This is just simple dish soap. I think I'm gonna use the bottle actually. Sorry. And let's fill it up with some warm water. Rah. So I guess next to add is the soap into the wool. I've seen people use some piece of tulle. I think this fabric should work the same. You want to slowly remove the air from between the fibers so they can fuse together. This is quite pleasant to do. You also sometimes want to remove your tulle of fabric to make sure that you don't like fuse it with this. Is this enough? I think I need more water. Ah, my hands are covered with soap. Do I know how much I should use? No. Toi, à la douche. Douche means shower in French. Now we keep doing the little massage, some tapoting, and now we can try the rolls. Okay, let me just cut off all this bubble wrap that I don't need. Some more massaging. Apparently you should be progressively more aggressive with your massages. Gonna try to remove the excess water here. And now we roll. I'm gonna put a towel underneath, it's too slippery. I rolled it up 200 times. Let's see what it does, and maybe we should do that again. It is turning into a fabric. I can see that it is not yet very sturdy, very woven together, but it's getting there. The beads that I added, they make this much more difficult. I can kind of see it shrinking, you know? The beads here are kind of annoying, but I can massage around them. The sparkly thing does look like hair. It is a bit gross. Now I'm going to use more and more violence. Moving it around. As I keep the friction going, I see it going more and more sturdy as the fiber kind of fuse together. And now I'm gonna try the ultimate violence. I took it and threw it on the ground. I threw it on the ground. We've lost another bead. So many things to throw on the ground. That is quite a workout. And now let's go rinse it to see how it goes. Finish. That is very interesting. I wonder how sturdy. This is holding on pretty well. Let's see about this. bubble. This is very interesting. Is this pretty? Not really, but that's okay. I think I could iron it to make it smoother, and also we'll see when it's completely dry because it's still a bit wet, but it smells very nice. But what I'm taking out from this is that I need to make more than 2 layers if I want to make a sturdy beret, because this is strong, but will it hold up for years? I don't know. The bubble thing worked really well. I think I need to figure out how to make it just the bubble. Like this is the bubble. The yarn and thread are making some very interesting results. With the shrinking, it makes everything more wiggly. Look at the regular thread here. This could make very interesting textures. It could be a piece inspired by, I don't know, the oceans and marine life. But I absolutely want to avoid this kind of hole, which is not intentional. The sparkle are a little sparkling, but depending on the angle, they also look like human hair, which is not what I want. Hello! But also what is interesting is that from this side, you don't really see the light blue, which means I can make more layers, even if it's color that I don't want to show. Oui, j'arrive. So I'm going to let this dry for tonight, and tomorrow we can try more layers, more colors, and hopefully we can make a beret. And this thing I'm keeping because, I don't know, this could make a fun project at some point. Allez, on va manger? Oui. And I will see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's not morning at all. Where are we beret-wise? Is that a word? I don't know. Because of all the beads that were here, I really struggled to make a nice line, and that's why the top is just kind of messed up. Well, we all are, but we do what we can. The whole point of this test piece was to see how much it shrinks, so let's measure. Math time! Well, first of all, it's not a square anymore. One side shrunk 20% and the other 25%. I'm gonna average at 22. So if I want this size, no, it's a bit small, I want bigger than that. 25 in diameter, I want it maybe 29. I want 29, so 22%. 37. So the beret pattern will be a circle of 37 in diameter. Et voilà! Pattern is done. Now comes the artistic expression part. So this is the colors we have. At first I thought I wanted to use just this color because they go well together, but with the test piece I think this is not enough, so I need to add more. What if we make like a sunset? Or maybe something like a garden? Ooh, that could be nice. And maybe this. With all this maybe I can do 2 layers. This was my first try at needle felting. I think this is a leaf or a frog. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't have any white, do I? He's fighting it! He's fighting it! Ah! Okay. I will keep that for an autumn project. This is how I decided to organize the colors. The inside won't be really visible, and with the amount that I have, I think it's nice that it will be green towards the pink. I know you are very impressed by my drawing skills, but you know the drill. Trust the process. I'm not. I'm gonna start with the top of the inside. Let's start felting, shall we? Okay, I want to get out the big guns. And by big guns, I mean... I know there are a lot of stereotypes about French people. Some are true. But fun fact about me, I hate cooking. I am a terrible cook. I mean, to French standards, but it's okay. I prefer to cook crafting projects. Now I need to try to turn it over without completely destroying it. Yeah, you see, if I pull the fibers a little bit, they're really starting to get stuck, but clearly not enough to have some structural integrity. On retourne la crêpe. And I can try to fold all those edges. Now I add some purple. I think I'm gonna use just a little bit of it for the outside, so let's keep that for the outside and we can use this. They see me rolling. We fold the fibers over. Et voilà, la belle galette. Now I'm gonna start to build the colors that I actually want, which are pink. For this layer, instead of having all the fibers towards the center, I'm gonna go around it with alternating the fibers direction. Hopefully it would make the thing more durable. Don't you think that this looks like such a nice place to sleep on? This is so interesting, the designs that you can get with all the different colors. Now we do the final layer, so I need to be very careful with this one. Okay, let's see if I destroyed it. It's okay. As you can see, it is starting to struggle to stay flat. That's because it is shrinking, so the plastic underneath cannot stand really flat. So we are going to free that. Whoa. This looks like a very toxic mushroom. And you can see totally different colors on the inside. You want to work in all those wrinkles. So the thing looks as smooth as you can. I threw it on the ground. Best project ever. I'm just putting it in a plastic bag so it doesn't get too dirty from the ground. It has suffered enough, so I'm going to rinse it with a lot of clear water and white vinegar. Is that a dead ant? I smashed an ant. Sorry. I'm gonna stuff it with an old towel to leave it to dry during the night, and we'll see tomorrow. But I'm so happy! So cute! Good morning! The weather was very hoa this morning, so I dressed accordingly. But it's sunny now, which I'm not complaining. So what's going on with the beret? I think the ombre worked pretty well, thicker than I thought it would be. Maybe I made the layers a little bit too thick. I think 3 layers is a good way to go, but maybe I made them a bit too big. I'm gonna try to iron it to get rid of these kind of wrinkles. Not ironed, ironed. And now I can add some finishing touches. I have this left. I think this is more than enough for decoration. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah! Ça va? Oui.